We've all paid a certain amount of lip service in what's been said here and in our resolutions to the fact that climate change has to have a coherent long-term strategy with the poverty agenda. We've all said that what happens has got to be done in a way that it doesn't punish the poorer countries. We all know that the poorer countries are totally dependent for their tourism, which is a big driver of their economy, on air transport. So here's a question. In whatever proposal is put forward, would it make sense to ring-fence for 20 years flights to and from the world's 50 poorest countries? In other words, if we're having differentiated strategies, and if we want to really have coherence, and if these economies require air transport in order to develop through their tourism, and trying to be entirely logical, why wouldn't we, along with these other policy measures, ring-fence them? Let the flights grow there, and to the extent that there needs to be mitigation in addition to adaptation, let that mitigation take place in the marketplaces where the problem is being created.
I'll buy it.
Excellent.
Just in case you didn't hear, I'll buy that. I don't have any problem with that. Because what it is contraction and convergence. It's the developed world giving, to the third world. I'm sorry if that's an offensive term. That's the only, that's what we use. The north, the south, call it what you will. I don't have a problem, providing we go from 46 gigatons to 5, and it's within that framework.
Don't put the proviso first, though. That's a separate issue.
I put the proviso last, because the other thing is, of course, it is telling people what to do.
Philippe, and then Chris, and then I bring this session to an end.
I think I'm also prepared to buy in, but why should this take place to the detriment of the rest of the world? That's my real question. And I think the market forces should determine a lot of things. Personally, I don't believe a second that any green tax will make any difference. So far, no green tax has had any positive environmental effect on Earth. That's very clear in my mind, and I think we have to make it very clear in the mind of everyone in this room, except perhaps Jeff Gazzard. Now, the second point, and I'm coming back to this comment, or last point for me, it's not automatically demonstrated that the carbon footprint of a croissant or a fruit coming from another continent is less favorable than the carbon footprint of a product produced locally. That's why, and that's how we have to address this issue, not in a piecemeal way.
I think this is definitely the way to go. I don't necessarily agree with Philippe in that through use of the clean development mechanism, you can get a win-win situation whereby certified emissions reductions by developed countries can apply to credits in developing countries. I'd like to take it one step further. I believe we should be more positive. The World Tourism Organization, in conjunction with ICAO, has developed a concept called essential tourism development routes, and I believe that the WTO should take this forward as a strategy. What we've just heard about contraction and convergence, use of the clean development mechanism for the least developed countries, combined with the more positive side of essential tourism development routes, and I think that's the way to go.